Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Warcraft replay here. We're just getting loaded in and yeah, apologies for not uploading in a while. Had some personal things going on over the past week and yeah, things have hopefully slowed down as we just get into this game. Netease ladder here, once again casting on just the real client because Netease is crapping itself. I can't full screen and the tracker's not working. Mainly the full screen is the problem. I can't get the correct resolution. So yeah, we're just gonna have a human versus undead matchup here. Lawliet spawning in as the blue human in the bottom right, which is weird. He didn't even random this particular game either. He chose to go human, which, if you don't know, Lawliet is a Night Elf main, so him going human is rather curious, especially since most of the human mains have been converting into Night Elf as of late. So yeah, there is that. His opponent is going to be WaN as the red undead at the top left, as yeah, we are just going to be on the map Terenas Stands. The minimap looks really different to me. Yeah, it's a lot less green, it's a lot more brownish and stuff, probably because of the grassless terrain. I don't even know if you can even call it dirt, but yeah, there is that. Terenas gets popped down here as we do have a Dreadlord coming out for the first hero. Meanwhile, Lawliet also going for an unorthodox first pick with a Mountain King, so yeah, I must say, right off the bat, Lawliet has the better first hero pick, I would say. Dreadlord opening would usually have mass schools following it, and yeah, particularly 2018, 2019, the Mountain King has been mainly used for his thunderclaps, so he's going to be clapping it up against those ghouls, and I really doubt this Dreadlord's going to do too much. I'm assuming that WaN was hoping to catch an Archmage first, but yeah, this is not going to be the case, as the Mountain King is going to get spotted with this Acolyte. But, I mean, spotted as soon as the Dreadlord pops, so like, it's really not feasible to cancel that one, so yeah, you just gotta make do with what you got, and what you got is not particularly scary in my opinion. I think this Mountain King shouldn't have too much difficulties with Dreadlord harassment, which I don't think is even going to happen, as we are just going to have fast expand coming in from WaN. So it's a nice adaptation, honestly. Not going to be using the main power of the Dreadlord. Of course, the Dreadlord also could be used for farming, since he can just sleep the strongest creep monster on the particular camp, and yeah, the ghouls should just make quick work of the remainder. I guess he could use it, do it for the majority of the camps here. Not actually any of these camps have a golem, so yeah, it doesn't have to be worried about spell immune creeps. The Water Goldmine has been placed down. Seems like we're gonna have a fast expand here for Lawliet as well. Do we have a spectator? I'm just wondering. No spectator, so we'll just hang into WaN's perspective here, who has quite a bit of units already, 27, 28 right now, versus Lawliet's 34 actually. Wow, Lawliet has a lot more, probably because he has just an exorbitant amount of militia, or footmen, wait, not footmen, peasants. But yeah, we do have a clause being sold here by the Mountain King. A little sad to see that go, but he is trying to make do with what items he has, which is not that bad. Plus 6 intelligence with those 2 mantles. 1 mana stealing being kept, which is interesting. I don't know if it's going to matter too much against the Dreadlord, as we are going to have the Mountain King cancelling the TP staff channeling. I believe he was trying to TP to this Footman, who is just going to get sleep surrounded there. Mountain King cancelling the TP staff with a Thunderclap channel, or a cast, so
Summoning is complete.
yeah, nicely avoided, I would say. Level 3 Dreadlord has been attained. Not entirely sure what abilities actually get prioritized for the Dreadlord, whether it's level 2 Sleep or if it's level 2 Carrion Swarm, because yeah, he has no more points into his Dreadlord and we don't have an aura, so most likely Carrion Swarm, and especially after the changes where it affects mechanical, like kind of no-brainer that that one gets picked. Mountain King about to hit that level 4. He does have Devotion Aura as well from, I guess, this lab camp, so it's gonna be nice, mitigating some damage off of those ghouls. Of course, armor is not gonna mean too much versus that Carrion Swarm, which I believe that was level 2 damage. We are gonna have a TP that scroll. That is indeed a scroll being channeled there onto right behind the Dreadlord into a Stormbolt Thunderclap combo, and Shadow Meld is just going to get used by the Dreadlord to avoid further damage. The ghouls have made quick work out of those peasants there, and I was assuming the Dreadlord was going to start channeling his TP scroll, but instead he's actually going to abandon all of his ghouls there, which is a really interesting play, because that gave a lot of experience over to the Mountain King. I don't know how many of those ghouls died to the Arcane Tower, but I don't think many did. Mountain King is already level 4, and he is about 25% on his way to level 5 as well. Level 5 is a scary time. I don't think it could one-shot ghouls. I'm pretty sure it's still a 2-shot, but even like one Thunderclap into cleanup damage from your remaining units, that should be just a lot more significant than level 2 Thunderclaps. But yeah, we apparently are going to have another attempt here by the Dreadlord. WaN is moving his way to tier 3. Haven't seen a second hero. We are at double crypt, which is something worth noting, so he can easily transition into gargoyles if he wants to, as we are going to have Carrion Swarm being cast onto the human army here. It looks like the Zeppelin is going to be hired up to try and retreat these units, and no form of anti-air from the undead, so Zeppelin is free to leave whenever, and we are going to start producing those gargoyles. Oh, never mind, we're apparently moving towards tier 2, my bad. But now we have started Black Citadel for WaN.
Upgrade complete.
Yeah, gargoyles might screw things up a little bit for Lawliet, but he is going Castle Tech, so it looks like a bit more emphasis on, I don't know actually, tier 3 could mean a lot of things. It could go into Griffins, it could go into Knights, Riflemen, it could even just go into Siege Tanks, which might not be ideal. The Mountain King is surprisingly very low, and he is sticking around, which is something a bit risky, but since the Zeppelin is pretty much free to roam the skies, it seems like the Mountain King is just going to be able to find very nice picks here, able to get level 5 with his Mountain King, and that is a very devastating thunderclapping Mountain King there. Dreadlord did hit level 4. I guess these ghouls did manage to get a couple of kills on these peasants, but yeah, I don't think ghouls are going to be the sole winning factor here. We are going to have a double Temple of the Damned being placed down as well for WaN, which is weird. We are going to have Necromancy training. Okay. So the problem with necromancers are that they share the same problem with the Dark Ranger, where skeletons do give XP over when they die. They are pretty fragile, and even though there's some units and they don't give that much XP, when you send 100, like 100 is going to make up eventually. So yeah, Necromancers at this stage of the game is a little risky, since you could just send your opponent's Mountain King over to level 6 range, but I'm interested to see how these Necromancers will be used, if we are even still on the Necromancer train. Seems like that is going to be the case. Skeletal Mastery is going to be on its way, so this basically means that one of the two skeletons raised by those Necromancers will be a Skeletal Mage. They'll be ranged, and where is that right? Oh, never mind. This is the... Oh no, that is correct. Okay, it also extends the duration of those skeletons by 20 seconds. So we did have a sleep cast onto the Mountain King there, as he did try to channel that TP staff. Ooh, Zeppelin, it's going to fall? No, actually, the Zeppelin actually lives with about 14 health, as the Nubian Tower, shake my head Nubian Tower, 9 to 10 damage, it just can't seem to deal enough versus that 24 HP Zeppelin. But yeah, even Lawliet was a little worrisome about that Zeppelin falling. If those units actually did fall with the Zeppelin, then they would have a pretty lengthy slow debuff, and then they would be effectively useless when it comes to fighting about on the map. But yeah, Mana Battery Blood Mage is out on the field. Hoping to see Pally come out here, as tier 3 is done and the Mountain King is in sore need of healing up. Although I guess he could just use the Staff Sanctuary, but regardless, Blood Mage is going to be solo farming this Sasquatch camp here after the pretty devastating Thunderclap from the Mountain King. He's almost to level 6, which is like really worrisome, because it's 12 minutes and that's a pretty quick level 6 Mountain King if he ever happens to have that. But yeah, Master's Training for the Necromancers is on the way. Master's Training gives Cripple? Okay, so Cripple is... it's self-explanatory. I think it's a attack debuff, maybe attack speed debuff as well. It's... yeah, I'm drawing a blank here because I barely use Necromancers, and I don't really see Necromancers being used at all either. Interesting double sentry awards. I think the Dreadlord just wanted to burn those items before going full inventory. He did pick up the Book of the Dead here on the top right, so I'm not sure if this is exactly what you want. Just more expendable units for your opponent to kill. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. About to hit 6 Necromancers here. There is a skeleton cap, so about a full control group's worth of Necromancers can hit the cap of, I'm pretty sure it's 24 or 25 skeletons. Yeah, I remember this because when I played the campaign, I just tried going mass Necromancers, and obviously that did not work out too well because the excess skeletons just replaced the old ones. And here we go here, mass ghouls, mass Necromancers here. Another Carrion Swarm is going to get cast. Unholy Frenzy is being cast onto the Dreadlord, so he's going to be a little bit more damage dealing, but he is going to take a little bit of damage over time as well. Nice Thunderclap is going to deal a decent chunk of damage against those skeletons, and the second one should be popping in very soon. Carrion Swarm is going to try and burst down the Mountain King. No invuln, so needs to be a little bit careful there. Unholy Frenzy being cast onto the Blood Mage, so it is going to increase his attack speed, but he is going to take that damage over time. Same thing happening for the Paladin, but that is a lot of skeletons, and it seems like this Mountain King is just not strong enough, maybe? There we go with another Thunderclap, but he is going to get Avatar form, and this might actually be the worst situation for WaN to be in. Griffins are going to be brought to the skies here, but the Necromancers are ranged units, so they are going to be focused down, I think? I say that, but it is taking a bit of a while. The Dreadlord did get taken down thanks to those griffins, but that is still a lot of skeletons on the ground. The Mountain King has no mana whatsoever. Blood Mage has no mana. The Blood Mage even banished himself, which is definitely not what you want to do, because these necromancers are magic damage, so that just amplifies their they're very little damage to actually something more meaningful. Surprisingly, Skeletal Mages aren't magic attack damage. They are piercing, but regardless, this expansion is going to fall very soon. Right. The Mountain King needs to be a little careful here. He only has a single Griffin Rider, so if he does get slipped, you don't actually want a Griffin Rider to be the one waking you up, because that is a pretty devastating hammer to get woken up by. Did Pally fall? No, Pally, I believe, was healing up with the Sap Sanctuary. We are making siege engines, which is shake my head level of badness here from Lawliet. Yeah, and it's really weird. Even though the skeletons aren't exactly the perfect attack typing versus the siege engines, there's just way too many necromancers and skeletons that unless you have like 3 or 4 siege engines at once, I don't think 1 or 2 is actually going to make much difference. Yeah, I don't know about that. Pally's gonna hit level 2, getting that much needed Divine Shield, but yeah, this is gonna be interesting, because I initially thought that the Mountain King by himself would be enough to deal with all these skeletons, but apparently not. Apparently, like, I knew that level 3 Thunderclap can't actually one-shot the ghouls, but apparently even if it can't one-shot the skeletons, that is a bit of a problem here as well. So, yeah, +2/+2 ghouls. Skeletons also benefit off of the same upgrades as those ghouls, so that is something worth noting. Dreadlord is about to hit level 6 as well, so if he does get the Infernals, that would be pretty nice to see, but it seems like the main army is going to be Griffins, and I don't think there are enough gargoyles in WaN's army to actually deal with this. We have a lot of ghouls, which is definitely not what you would want, but here we go with this fight here. 73 for WaN, and I actually can't check what Lawliet has, but it seems like that is going to be a lot. That is a pretty disastrous thunderclap onto the main front of the undead army. Another thunderclap is going to go down here as the mana battery of the Blood Mage is doing work. Not enough gargoyles to actually take down these griffins, and the Dreadlord is going to get storm bolted to death, in addition to just the thunder hammers of those griffins. Yeah, 2 destroyers, but like destroyers aren't gargoyles, they can't actually deal with these griffins that quickly, especially without mana here. Mountain King, level 7, I mean, who would have expected after being donated so much experience from these skeletons. Pally also hits level 4, so like, yeah, here is the downside of going summon units. Obviously, Lawliet could have definitely just gone Spellbreakers and just stolen those skeletons himself, but on the other hand, he can always just destroy those skeletons with the ever so balanced Mountain King here. His avatar form has worn off, but I mean, there's not really much danger to be had on any of these human units, to be honest. The destroyers aren't really doing too much against these griffins, even though griffins can't actually attack back. They're just annoying little mosquitoes to these griffin riders here. Gargoyles are coming in 1 by 1, which is definitely not what you want to do. You definitely want to wait a little bit and mass them up. Mountain King gets Sanctuary back home, probably just to pick up a couple of items, maybe mana pots and the whatnot. He is going to get an Orb of Fire probably just to deal with these annoying destroyers. And yep, that should be that. I believe all the necromancers have also got killed off as well. This guy is basically the last of his kind. Dreadlord is about to hit very soon, but what is he gonna do by himself? Probably not much. I don't even know if the Infernal was going to make that much of a difference because, I mean, Infernals can't actually attack back against air units either, so yeah, it's just the flow of the comp. I honestly thought that that WAN would have massed a lot more gargoyles in addition to his Necros, but he actually went Necros into Ghouls, which is yeah, it's very vulnerable to air units, and you can clearly see that in effect. Dreadlord pops in just for a little yeah, just for a little couple hundred hammers to the face before TPing out, and yeah, that is a pretty disparaging score there. Obviously, 1 hero versus 3. I honestly thought that if WAN had the proper anti-air like units, maybe the Necros would have done work, but yeah, like I said earlier, Necros do suffer from just giving plenty of experience over to your opponent. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys again next time. Take care.